What's up everyone, and welcome to another Wayfarers East HeroClix tutorial. And for this video we're going to be wrapping up the last of the powers and abilities with our white special powers. And that's the last thing on our powers and abilities card. And basically the white special powers can all be identified on dials by looking for those white squares with the black outline on them, that 9. That can be either in the movement, the attack, the defense, or the damage slot. And it means that the character can use a special power. Now, special powers are specially defined on the character's card. So if we're using World Breaker here, we have to look at his card, and as you can see by the white foot there, right there, it's where it says everything he sees makes him angrier. World Breaker can use charge and plasticity. And when World Breaker is hit by a ranged combat attack after actions resolve, you may place him in a square adjacent to the attacker. Alright, so one thing to notice about white abilities is the fact that they can be anything. They don't necessarily have to be a combination of powers and abilities like it is in the beginning with charge and plasticity. It could also have a special rule or a special, anything going on later or whatever. It's a special power. It can be anything, and that's really neat. And so in this case, he can use the abilities charge and plasticity, so he can charge at people and attack them, and he can make it basically almost impossible for people to break away. And then also, when he's hit by a ranged combat attack after actions resolved, you may place him in a square adjacent to the attacker. So if Magneto makes a ranged combat attack on World Breaker, and he hits, he doesn't necessarily need to deal damage. So if, like, say it's an 11 to a 19, say he rolls an 8, and World Breaker rolls for Impervious, where the damage is reduced to 0, and he hits, even though he didn't do any damage, he could still hit. You can maybe place him in any square adjacent to Magneto, so you can place him right there. And the next turn, World Breaker can open the pane and do a close combat attack if he has the action tokens to support it. That's basically what's it for special powers and abilities. Remember, they can be anything, literally. Some characters have the ability to do some pretty crazy things. Some characters just have special abilities that allow them to use more than one powers and ability at the same time. For example, Fear itself, Dracula allows him to use charge, stealth, and flurry all at the same time if he chooses, which is pretty neat. And then there's people like Miss Marvel, which allows her to do a ranged flurry at once, and that's also pretty neat because then she can make 2 ranged combat attacks consecutively, even though flurry is normally meant for close combat attacks only. And yeah, that's all there is to it. I hope you like this video. Make sure you subscribe to Wayfarers East. Check me out on Facebook and Twitter and wayfarerseast.com. Without further ado, have yourself a great day.